Thank you, Ryan. Our next senior speech will be presented by Jackson Clark. Jackson has been attending St. Stephen's for 6 years. He enjoys football and hockey and hanging out with friends. We will now hear Jackson Clark's senior speech.
Good morning. As most of you may know, my name is Jackson. But if you know me, you probably call me Jay Clark, Kizzy. And if you don't know me, well, that's unfortunate for you. If I had to describe my life in one word, that word would be change. From a young age, my life was the same every single day. I had been homeschooled, and by homeschooled, I mean I'd play video games or go outside to parks. I had very few responsibilities in my life, and I was extremely sheltered. My life was like a never-ending cycle. It felt like every day was the same, and I never cared to change it. I never even considered the idea of going to school because my mom refused to put my siblings and I in school, but that changed drastically. Around the beginning of summer of 2017, my dad came up to my siblings and I and told us we were going to be put in school. He said we'd be going to visit the school at some point. I remember getting so mad at him for not even asking me how I felt about school. I was mad that I didn't get that choice, that say that I had gotten my whole life. At 14, I had to prepare myself for school, which meant I had to go through 14 years of education in just 2 months. Put that into perspective real quick. How am I supposed to learn things other people learned over their whole life in just 2 months? Well, I didn't. I couldn't. It was quite literally impossible. I focused on math and a little bit of writing, and I procrastinated like usual. When I got into St. Stephen's, I continued to be lazy and procrastinate and continuously had a mixture of A's, B's, and C's. I also had very few friends. All my other friends had either moved away or I moved away from them, but that changed in high school. I started to be a little more social as the years went by. Freshman year, I started to sit with a group of guys, but I was quiet and they'd ask me why I don't talk much. They'd tell jokes and I wouldn't laugh most of the time. I'd space out. While I was there physically, mentally I was in a whole other place. Sophomore year, I started to talk a lot more. I'd become a lot more social, and I was consistently laughing with them, talking during lunch or in the hallways or even in class. Being able to be myself around them made it so much easier to get myself up in the morning and go to school. Junior year, I played football. It was my first varsity sport, and sport in general, since I had played basketball in middle school. I didn't play much, but you'd see me on the field when we were winning by 4 or 5 touchdowns in the last quarter or two. But that didn't stop me from playing because I was dedicated. I was also in my first AP class, and yet I still had great grades, mostly A's and high B's. I started not only to talk to people, but I was hanging out with them outside of school, which was a whole new concept to me. Now it comes to this year. I've got all A's with 1 B+, and I'm consistently going out and having fun, and now recently working out with Daniel. I'm enjoying high school, and if my dad hadn't made the decision to put me in school back in 2017, I wouldn't be standing right here today with all my friends up here in the front row. If there's one thing I learned over the last 6 years, it's that change is a blessing. Change is something that we should embrace, and I'm sad that it took me this long to realize it. I don't have many thank yous, but I just want to thank Caden, Mason, Rowan, Evan, Daniel, Ben, Justin, Cole, James, and CJ, and anyone else I didn't mention for a great high school experience, and I wouldn't want any other guys to stand next to me at graduation, so I love you guys.